What's up, sports bettors? There are a lot of plays on Prize Picks that I recommend you get on, a lot of profitable plays. So let's just dive in. There's so many plays, I just want to get into it. So the first play I'm on is from the Odds Jam screen. So you can see the screen just kind of lets you view the whole market, right? All sports books set lines differently from one another. They all want to be unique. So typically I just use this screen to scan for market inefficiencies. So we can see here, for example, the first one is Tatum. Every book, Prize Picks, Underdog, all sports books, they have his line at 9.5, roughly similar odds. There's no value, right? So there's nothing we want to play. As a sharp bettor, we're like a savvy investor, or we're like a day trader. We're hunting through the market, looking for value, looking for an edge. And what you're going to see right here is we found exactly that with John Collins, right? His line on Prize Picks is 5. On Underdog Fantasy, it's 4.5. And on all of the sports books, it's also 4.5. You can even see some sports books like Bet Rivers 888 Sport, they have the under 4.5 favored, right? FanDuel barely has the over favored, BetMGM. So we kind of want to use all this real time market data, right? Price data. It's literally like you have hundreds of different prices for John Collins rebounds. That's essentially what sports books are, right? You have hundreds of independent data points telling you where the line should be set. So Prize Picks is at 5. All sports books are at 4.5. Their direct competitor, Underdog, is at 4.5. There's not a lot of juice towards the over or the under, so it's just like, well, Prize Picks is too high, right? Prize Picks is too high relative to every other book, so we want to take the under. Clear value, right? We're looking for discrepancies between Prize Picks, Underdog, and the sports books, and here's an example of a very obvious one that you want to be on. And again, I'm just showing you guys what I put my money on, but this is really just like rational, data driven sports betting, right? Like these sports books invest hundreds of millions of dollars in their ability to set lines. So all we're doing is we're looking at the market and where hundreds of data points are telling us where the line should be set, and we're picking off inefficiencies. It's very similar to, being a trader on Wall Street. You got to go out, you got to hunt through the market, you got to look for value. So one play, as an example, I'm always going to be giving out 5 and 6 pick flexes. So here's a 6 pick flex that we almost won yesterday, but they didn't even put Tobias Harrison in the fourth quarter, I don't think. So we doubled up. But 6 pick flexes, right? So 6 pick flexes or 5 pick flexes are mathematically optimal on Prize Picks, right? That's what we're always going to be going with. And that's because, there's no argument here, right? Like literally just taking their payouts. So if we go down to a 5 flex, so like here's the payouts for a 5 flex 10x, 2x, 0.4x. If you just convert that into sportsbook odds, it's minus 119. And we have a bunch of tutorial videos kind of explaining how to do the math. But right, the way that Prize Picks works is any 5 picks you select, right, it's the same payout. It doesn't matter if you take overs or unders. So essentially, Prize Picks is giving you the same odds on every single play. So here are some other plays I went with. So typically the tool I started out with is the positive expected value tool on OddsJam. And you can filter for specific sports books. So here's just a few different layouts. Here I have more sports books that I use selected. And you can see the top profitable play is Josh Giddey over 30.5 PRAs. Then we have Quickly over 2.5 made threes. And then we have a play on FanDuel, right? And this is why you want multiple sports books. Sportsbooks have different lines from one another. So as an example, Underdog and Prize Picks are very similar platforms, but Quickly over 2.5 threes, this play isn't on Underdog. There's no Underdog logo here. So if you only have Underdog, you're going to miss this profitable bet, right? So as a sharp bettor, you want as many sportsbook accounts as possible. I've had a bunch kind of in, obviously not all of them are located in New York, but I've used tons of sports books. And that's because you never know which sports book is going to screw up on a given day. You never know where the value is going to be. And you can see right now, the value is on Prize Picks for Quickly, right? That's where you can get value on his over and threes, 2.23% profit margin. And then there's just a bunch more. I mean, we had college basketball plays. There's a lot of college basketball plays. I think for the tournaments, sportsbooks started to post odds for more player props. So you're going to see a lot of these on the EV tool. But unfortunately, you can't bet college basketball in some locations. Like I'll just show you. If I try to bet this, it's just going to say, hey, NCAA isn't allowed in your state. So it's not allowed in every single state. But there is a lot of value in college basketball as well right now. So here's an example of a play, right, that's on Underdog. It's not on Prize Picks. So when using the EV tool, Really, I just put in the sports books I use. Typically, I set my max odds to plus 190. And then I just look for 5 picks. That's how I start my day every morning. I look for 5 picks on prize picks in bold and in green because we know those are sharp, profitable plays. And today we had a ton. I mean, one, two, three. Like today, there was a lot of value. Some days it's slower. Some days there's a lot more value in the market. Right? So as a sharp sports bettor, you never know really how many bets you're going to have in a day. Some people always ask me like, how many prize pick slips do you place a day? It's like, well, if there's a ton of value, I want to bet a lot, right? It's kind of like as an investor, if there's great investments, you may make more investments, right, in a day or in a month, I guess is a better time span than in the next month. It's same thing with being a trader, right? Like you don't place the exact amount of bets every single day. It doesn't make any sense. So today, a lot of value on prize picks, right? We know we're getting minus 119 odds and a 5 or a 6 flex. All sportsbooks have the over for quickly, heavily juiced. So that's a play we want to be on. Just like here on Underdog, Tyler Hero over 4.5 rebounds. Well, that I just screwed up. But like here's another example. Kelly Olynyk over 3.5 assists. So sure, the profit margin is slightly lower, but who cares? We need 5 picks and all these are profitable, right? This is ridiculous profit margin. So all sportsbooks have the over for Olynyk's assists, heavily favored, right? Heavily juiced. Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker out there, pricing this at minus 148. DraftKings minus 140. BetRivers minus 136. Caesars minus 145. So we have tons of data points, right? Billion-dollar sportsbooks telling us where the line should be set. Taking bets, moving around lines due to supply and demand, and they're all like, yeah, this line should be priced at like minus 145. Bet Online, Pinnacle, two really sharp sports books are at minus 147 and minus 148. Getting minus 119 and a 5 flex is a no-brainer, right? It's not a bet that's guaranteed to win. This isn't guaranteed to win. This isn't a lock, as a lot of BSers say. This is just a play with an edge, right? It's a play with a mathematical edge over the book because you're getting such good odds that beat the vig. So, multiple sports books, really critical. And again, I bet on numerous sports. A lot of people will be like, yo, man, you've won more of your NBA plays recently. That's just variance, right? So here's my first play, the Collins play we discussed with the screen. Then all these plays were just from the EV tool. I mean, literally just straight from the EV tool. Quickly, Carlson, Giddey, Nushkin, all these plays you're just going to see from the EV tool. I'm not doing anything complicated. Honestly, maybe we create another one together right now so we can just hit the refresh button. Right, and we won't use the screen. The screen's kind of complicated, so let's just go, okay, we just want to see prize picks. And this really is how simple it is. So it's just like, okay, so I want to go back here, and what we can do is we can keep that Collins play because why not? It was really good. And then we can just go here, and then we're just like, okay, 3-pointers made, I'll take quickly. Boom, there's one. And then I'll take Giddey, I'll take Olynyk, and I'll take Carlson. Or is that exactly what the last play was? That's exactly what the last play was, so it's not going to let me bet it exactly as that again because I already hit my max bet size, but we can go Hurdle instead of Carlson. So we can go here and we can just go, okay, Hurdle, I want him under, right? Just following the data. Why am I taking the under? Do I know this guy, right? Can I see the future and do I know he's going to go under? No. I know all sports books are pricing this around minus 140. I don't think I'm smarter than the sports books, these billion-dollar books with tons of employees, way more data, way better models than I could ever build, than one individual person could ever build, right? This is just clear value. Following the data, right? So then we want Giddey and Olynyk over. So let's just go up here, and then we'll take both of these, right? And then we're going to have a good 5 flex. So we'll go here. Then we're going to go to Olynyk, and we're going to take him over, and then we're going to go to Josh Giddey, right? And you can play this in a 6 flex if you want. So you could add the Carlson play. You could play it in a 6 flex. But again, I typically like to, the 6 flexes, I typically prefer to just play the 5 flexes, right? Just because a little easier to go 5 for 5 than 6 for 6, and that's a fact. And here you can see the play, right? And I kept the play on Collins, it looks like. So that's perfect. This looks like a great play. And then we could go back here and we could be like, okay, well, let's reuse them. Let's get rid of Collins. And let's go down to another play, right? And kind of diversifying. And we can take Gordon this time, over 10.5 points. So we'll go here, And really, it's that simple. I just follow the data. I don't let it get to me. I know I have the mathematical advantage over the book, and I'm going to win long term. So now it's going to say, oh, you already wagered too much on a single athlete. So I think I may have to get rid of Giddey, right? Or quickly. And then So now we can go back to Collins, right? So just a little bit of, got to get creative here once you hit these max betting limits. So we'll go here, and then we want to go to Garreau, under 2.5 shots on goal, right? And I try to move quick, right? I say this all the time, but great bets aren't going to last forever. So get a move on, right? And there's the next play, right? 5 plays with an edge, all with a mathematical edge. 1 play from the screen. The others, I'm literally just ripping off the EV tool, right? Following the data. The market knows all. All sports books, we have dozens of data points telling us this line should be around minus 140. The under should be heavily favored. Clear value in a Prize Picks flex. Lock it in. And here's the play we just locked in together if you want to take a screenshot, right? So a lot of plays that I gave out today. And you can kind of see them. I'll kind of scroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's make some money.